Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios in Flora, Mississippi, WYAB studios. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We had some beautiful weather, and I hope you were able to spend some time relaxing and winding down from the week. Hope you didn't pop any blood vessels over the price of gas or the mean tweets, I guess you could call them the mean truths. I don't know if I would call them that or not. Lots of controversy out there, lots of talk about the meetings that J.D. Vance had, our vice president, and what came of those, what's going to happen with the war. And it seems as though now President Trump hates the Pope. I don't know, lots and lots of things to get into today. But again, we are live. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And, of course, we are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. And as always, you can find us on the 50,000-watt flamethrower that is WYAB 1039 on your FM dial or WYAB.com. You can always stream us live there. 601-879-0002 is the number if you would like to call into the show today. Tell me your thoughts, your opinions. What do you think about everything that has transpired over this weekend? 601-879-4648 is our text line. If there's anything that you would like to text into the show today, I will try to get to those messages and read those during the show as well. So I talked Friday a good bit about Trump's recent rants. I think these kind of rants that are a little more polarizing started on Easter Sunday with the, I guess, threats or the ultimatums given to Iran. And then following that with the post he put out about destroying an entire civilization never to be brought back again. Then going after some of the conservative voices when you look at influencers, podcasters, some of the very people, honestly, who helped get President Trump reelected, saying that they have low IQs and he's just better than them. Nobody likes those people. You know, I find it comical at this point that when President Trump has an issue with someone, all of a sudden nobody likes them. All of a sudden, they're not smart. All of a sudden, they are the people that we all want to stay away from. So he made some comments last week. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Steve Bannon, they took the brunt of those comments last week. But then last night, we saw President Trump go on a rant about the Pope. Now, I am not Catholic. I'm very much a Christian, but I am not Catholic. I do have some very close friends who are Catholic, and I would love to. I have not talked to them yet. I didn't even ask this morning what their opinion was because I didn't want to be swayed. I kind of wanted to bring you my thoughts in real live time here. But you are cutting off an entire group of people within the Catholic faith. Now, I did have lots of issues with the former Pope. I don't know that I could trust a man who says that he is called to spread the love of God, yet advocate for lying to children, telling them they can change their biological sex. I had a big, big, big problem with that. I'm gonna be completely honest, I haven't closely followed this most recent pope or what his stance is. I remember seeing when, I guess he wasn't elected, but when he was chosen or appointed or whatever it is that they call it within the Catholic Church, I remember seeing that he was much more conservative than the former, although I haven't followed it closely since. But last night, not only did we see President Trump go on a rampage about the Pope, but he then took an image that I've seen before. I'm definitely not saying he created this image. I have definitely seen this image before. So I think it's something that someone else created, posted a while back, but then he took it last night and posted it himself to his Truth social account. That image basically portrayed him as God, as Jesus, as the person who is coming to save America. Well, let me tell you something. There is not a human man or woman, for that matter, that can save this country. Period. End of story. What can save this country is Jesus Christ. And Donald Trump is not Jesus Christ. And I take offense, strong offense, to the notion that he would portray himself that way. I laughed at a comment Sean made the other day because he said, you're like in an abusive relationship with the president because, and I feel this way. I feel like it's almost like a Stockholm syndrome type effect because I kind of tense up and cringe when I don't like the stuff that he does, but then I also don't want to talk badly about the man because he has, and I've said this so many times, I do have respect for him because he has kept his promises to us. He has done things within education and within the social transitioning, the transgender movement, the boys and girls bathrooms, the boys and girls sports. He's done things to stop that ridiculous mess. He has done more than any other president in an attempt to defund the Department of Education, which, by the way, should be burnt to the ground. But I cannot and I will not sit back silently as the most powerful man in our country mocks my Lord and Savior. This is not okay with me, and it should not be okay with anyone. I don't care if it was a joke. I don't care if you call yourself trolling the Dems or the liberals. I don't give a damn. How dare you? I truly believe that God was there in Butler, Pennsylvania. I truly believe that God placed a hedge of protection around this man. I believe that. Donald Trump should be thanking and praising God, not mocking him, not making a mockery with a picture depicting himself as the savior of our nation. Donald Trump needs to eat a piece of humble pie, in my opinion. A big piece of it. He had a lot to say about the Pope. He said Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding church services, even when going outside and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers into our country. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime and creating the greatest stock market in history. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be pope, and he was only put there by the church because he was an American. And they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod, a loser from the left, who is one of those who wanted churchgoers and clerics to be arrested. Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. It's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church. President Donald J. Trump. So I wonder what my Catholic friends think about this rant. Now, the things that President Trump is saying, I am in full support of. No, we don't want to sit back while another country produces nuclear weapons. We don't want to sit back and be weak on crime with a wide open border, allowing God knows how many illegal immigrants to come into the country who have a record of crime, who are killing Americans right here on our homeland. In fact, I looked it up and there were at least 3 incidences last week alone of Americans killed by illegal immigrants in our country. One bludgeoned to death with a hammer outside of a gas station in Florida. It's disgusting. But this rant, what good does this do? If he's angry because the Pope maybe criticized him about this war with Iran, then he's got to be angry with a lot of other people as well, because there has been a lot of criticism when it comes to this war. I believe wholeheartedly the reason that Donald J. Trump was elected in a landslide, like he loves to keep reminding us all, was because we believed that he would get in that office and change things, make housing affordable, make gas prices doable, make it easier for parents to feed their kids and buy groceries. Right now, gas prices are through the roof. It just feels like we're constantly being lied to. With this attack back in June, we were told we got it all. We see, you didn't trust me, but we went in and we didn't tell anybody, but we went in overnight. We got it all. Everybody celebrate now. So then what's going on today? How do you get away from this situation and call this a win for the Republican Party or for the president? I don't see how you do it. Even if we are able to come to an agreement, a ceasefire, and a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz, it was open before without tolls. Now, look, I know that they know a lot of things I don't. And if there was something going on over there, if there were some sort of nuclear weapons being formed that were meant to be used against us, then absolutely. We have to do what we have to do to keep our country safe. And I support our troops 1,000,000%. I pray for their safety as this situation starts to look more dire when we're not able to reach an agreement. But that should be where his head is out at right now. That should be the thing that he is focused on, not his daggum social media or who he controlled today or making himself look like Jesus coming to save the world. Because again, no man can do that. Not me, not you, and not even Donald J. Trump. We got to take a break. But as you can see, I'm a little fired up today. I'm a little disappointed and I'm a little angry. I don't like the White House, the most powerful man in the country, mocking the one man that came to save us all. It's a big problem. A really big problem. Stay with us. We will be right back here at WYAB 103.9. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show, and we will be right back. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show, and we will be right back.
.9 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
I'm Sean Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
Zach Bryan with Heaven on Tour.
Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you'll never call me.
Saturday, May 2nd, Davis Wade Stadium.
Wish I didn't, but I do.
With special guests Dijon and J.R. Carroll. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBryan.com.
I think I heard you coming.
Don't miss Zach Bryan live.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Our flag was still there. The official 250th celebration flag is available at a complete flag source on I-55 North in Jackson. It's just one way you can show your appreciation for the greatest country on earth. Flags for all occasions. International and state flags too. Flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We are live here in Flora, Mississippi. Lots to discuss today. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And as always, you can get the audio version streamed at WYAB.com or on your FM dial 103.9. You can call into the show today if you have any thoughts or anything you would like to add to the conversation. 601-879-0002, and our text line, 601-879-4648. We have been breaking down the latest Truth Social posts that have been put out by our president, Donald Trump, specifically regarding the Catholic Pope, and then the satirical meme, I guess, if you want to call it that, AI photo of Trump as Jesus coming to save the world. So this morning, Pope Leo did respond to President Trump's words by saying, "I think the people who read will be able to draw their own conclusions. I am not a politician. I have no intention of entering into a debate with him. Rather, let us always seek peace and put an end to wars. I am not afraid of the Trump administration. I speak about the gospel. I am not a politician. I do not think the message of the gospel should be abused in the way some people are doing. I will continue to speak out loudly against war, to try to promote peace, multilateral dialogue between states in order to seek the right solution to problems. The message of the church is the message of the gospel. Blessed are the peacemakers. I do not see my role as that of a politician. I do not want to enter into a debate with him. Too many people are suffering in this world." So clearly we have seen Pope Leo take the high road and say, I'm not going to go down that path with him. I'm not going to enter into a back and forth, nasty keyboard warrior debate. And I respect that. Now, in the last few hours, President Trump has removed the image of him portrayed as Jesus Christ, but not before, making a lot of people quite angry about it. Some of the people who he hasn't yet said have low IQs, I'm sure it's coming, like Riley Gaines, for instance, who said, "Why? Seriously, I cannot understand why he'd post this. Is he looking for a response? Does he actually think this? Either way, two things are true. A little humility would serve him well. God shall not be mocked." Allie Beth Stuckey took to her X account to say, that image is what happens when Paula White is your personal pastor and people around you are continually comparing you to Christ. Trump desperately needs to understand the bad news that precedes the good news. You are a helpless sinner in desperate need of a savior, as we all once were. I could not, absolutely could not agree more. So I get emails every morning from Coffee and COVID. It's a great news source. Of course, he's been criticized for not attacking Trump on many things. Today, his email at the end, after he got through all the news he wanted to talk about, said, on a more serious note, this is for all my critics who claim I never criticized President Trump. Here it comes. I have no choice but to reject one of his edgiest posts. Like last night, he reposted an image of himself as Jesus healing a sick man, framed by a flag, a praying woman, soldiers, and angelic figures flying in the background. Trump slams President Leo as weak, posts picture of himself as Jesus healing the sick. The context was that he's been trading barbs with the Pope, who have been saying very silly and inconsistent things about the Iran war. What apparently triggered Trump yesterday was when Pope Leo exclaimed, "Enough with the idolatry of self and money, enough with the display of force, enough with war." Trump was like, "Idolatry? Hold my beer," I presume, by reposting the AI-drawn cartoon. Trump intended a pictorial escalation of the men's rhetorical boxing match. Look, no one accepts the president's verbal sparring more than I do. I get it. It's his brand. But alas, this one was too much, even for me. Christians, especially those in the Protestant denominations, take the first 4 commandments very seriously. This image is textbook blasphemy. The digital version of a graven image. We properly labeled it when liberals put Jesus' image in a vial of urine and called it art.
Of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
I'm Sean Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
CBS News Brief. A new U.S. blockade targets ships into and out of Iran. CBS's Weijia Jiang at the White House.
We do know, however, that President Trump says the ceasefire that is set to expire in 9 days is still holding up well. So there is still time here for some sort of diplomatic solution.
In social media posts, President Trump has poked at Pope Leo and says he's not a big fan. CBS's Chris Livesay is on the Pope's Africa trip.
Pope Leo now has spoken out a number of times, not just against the war, but he's used President Trump's name.
Support from President Trump and a visit from Vice President Vance during the campaign wasn't enough to keep Viktor Orban in power in Hungary. CBS's Vicky Barker.
France's far-right national rally noting that Orban's respectful acceptance of his defeat proved fears that Hungary's democracy was being dismantled on his watch were unfounded.
CBS News Brief, I'm Steve Kathan.
Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
Corkanddoor.com. CORKERN door.com. Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's is a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Ken here with Rapid Oil Change, your fast service and fleet maintenance headquarters for over 40 years. With parts in stock to fit most makes and models, we can perform routine maintenance in a matter of minutes, keeping downtime to a minimum. With brands like Castrol, Mobile One, Lucas, and Rain-X, it's easy to see why Rapid Oil Change has been the go-to for fast service with a smile for over 40 years. Don't forget our 24/7 touchless car wash. We accept most national and local fleets. We're Mississippi's leader for fast service with a smile. Visit one of our 6 locations today, oilchangems.com.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
In the heart of Flora, there's a place where love, laughter, and comfort come with every cut, color, and style. At our family-owned salon, you're not just a client. You're part of the family. Come share a smile with Shelby, Henley, and Rhonda, ready to make you feel beautiful inside and out. Whether it's a fresh new look or a little time to relax, we've got the chair waiting for you. So step in and feel at home. Find us on Facebook at In Style Salon Flora.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham, and we are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Sorry about that abrupt break there. They have decided that they are going to run their test during my Monday show, and so as soon as I hear that come on, I immediately switch over to a break so that it doesn't eat into my show. So I mean, obviously I'm on a list somewhere. They don't like what I'm saying. They gotta shut me up. I'm kidding. 601-879-0002 is the number to the station if you would like to call in and voice your opinion today. 601-879-4648 is our text line. I did just get a text. Kim, are you listening? Are you listening today? I did get a text just now that said, Lindsey, I hope Kim is listening to you. I voted for Trump all 3 times, but he is really starting to tick me off. You know, and again, it's hard for me to speak out about the things that I disagree with him on because he has done so much more than anyone else has or probably would have had they been elected when it comes to the issues that I care so deeply about. Education freedom, school choice, parental rights, the Department of Education, stopping this insane transgender movement, or at least attempting to stop it for children because they're being lied to. But I have to draw the line. I have to draw the line when you're poking fun at our Lord and Savior who saved my life, who saved the lives of my children, who was nailed to a cross and shed his blood so that we might have a chance at life. That's when you've gone too far. And I cannot sit back and say nothing. Now, there's a lot of people saying Trump's the Antichrist. Now, I don't believe that for one single second, because what I know from studying about the Antichrist is that he's going to have everyone fooled. Everyone is going to be eating out of the palm of his or her hand. That's not happening right now. I don't think he's noticed, but he's made a lot of people angry. And I've let a lot of things slide that I was neither here nor there on, or that maybe I probably didn't completely agree with. But this is one thing we cannot sit back and stay silent when the president of the United States of America is making a mockery out of God. I don't understand what he's doing right now. I don't get it. And another part of this, and I said this on the show Friday, but another part of this that really, really gets under my skin is the fact that it seems almost as though he's handing the midterms and possibly the next presidential election over to the Democrats, to the liberals, to the crazy people, so that we can go right back to the way things were, what we were trying to escape. And now we see Kamala, who is toying around with the idea of running again for president, and she's polling the highest amongst Democrats. Y'all, we cannot let that happen. The woman who wants to spend your money, your hard-earned money and mine, to send to prisons so that they can have sex change operations, so they can have gender-affirming care. The border czar of the last administration who left the border wide open. The vice president who allowed Easter Sunday to be celebrated as Trans Visibility Day, to have naked men with boobs dancing around on the White House lawn. We cannot go back to that. What is he doing? It blows my mind. I do not understand it. Before the test interrupted the show, I was talking about Jeff Childers, who has a Substack called Coffee and COVID. I definitely encourage everyone to go download it. I get his emails every morning. He has got a great way of looking at things. A lot of times he offers a different viewpoint or perspective that really makes me think. And I was reading what he said in his email this morning. When we called out the Democrats' image, when they put Jesus in a vial of urine and called it art. So while not as directly insulting as Democrats' art project, last night's post by President Trump was nevertheless undeniably offensive, and it verges uncomfortably close to unpleasant end times scriptural comparisons the president should probably seek to avoid. It's rare, but he has deleted his post before. In a recent example, he took down a video clip of the Obamas that had a couple of seconds of amusing monkey antics added at the end. Jeff says, my preference would be for him to delete this one too. And he did. He has since deleted the post. Whether he wants to say anything about it is up to him. It's not his style to apologize, nor my place to demand an apology. This disagreement won't stop me from supporting the president. I give him grace. He is human. And if he is often theologically confused, who among us isn't? Just ask any mixed group of Protestants about infant baptism and stand back, far back. That's very true. Very, very true. But I do want to be absolutely clear. There's only one Savior, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ, who died for the sins of mankind and rose again, breaking the chains of death once and for all. There is no better way to live than by the faith and hope of everlasting life, which is offered by our Creator as a free gift to anyone who chooses to accept it. While I sense that Trump only meant to score some cheap points off Pope Leo because the president never leaves any criticism unanswered, and even if he had no sacrilegious intent, which seems likely, this also strikes me as an unforced political error. Protestants are one of Trump's most reliable supporter blocks. Why make us feel so uncomfortable over a marginal grudge tweet? Why invite pricklier Protestants to stay home on voting day? Why hand his media enemies a potential wedge? I completely agree. And I think that's probably the thing that has me the most fired up about this is the future of our country. I know who holds tomorrow. I know who wins in the end, and it's not evil. But when we are looking at the upcoming midterms and the next presidential election, this is the ammunition that we don't need to give the Democrats, because they will use it. And there are people who are going to be so upset about this one post that they will stay home. They will stay home on voting day. And guess what? Who does that hurt? Not President Trump, because he can't run again. Constitutionally, he cannot run again for the presidency. He's in his 80s. I mean, let's be real here. He's not going to live much longer. But some of us, hopefully me included, will. And we have to live with the outcome of what his decisions today will do. And that scares me. That scares me when I see him out there making statements sounding so erratic and so angry, throwing temper tantrums. And again, and I know I've said this multiple times, but I'm going to say it again. I'm thankful and I respect what he has done, so much of what he has done. He has given us moms a seat at the table, a seat inside the White House. I think I've been invited to the White House 8 times in the past 14 months. And that is so special and so powerful. And I'm so grateful and thankful to him for the things that he has done as far as the issues that I care so deeply about are concerned. But that does not mean that I can sit back and stay silent when I see him mocking Jesus Christ. I don't understand for the life of me why somebody does not just take his phone. Why can't we have someone screen these posts before he's allowed to post them? And while I would never have posted the video with the Obamas, I also didn't take just that one screenshot, and I looked at the video as a whole, and I thought the video was quite comical as a whole, to be honest. Would I have posted it and especially taken that one part out to emphasize it? Absolutely not. And I think he knew what he was doing, or someone did anyway. But this is much different than making a cartoon video of Democrats dressed up as animals while you walk through the jungle as king. I think Trump's always been someone who trolls his enemies, and he's always been quite funny, in my opinion. Some of the things that he does, I think are funny. But this was a new level of what the heck are you doing? And why? And what's the fallout going to be? And who's it going to hurt? And I can't sit back and say nothing. It was a disgusting post. It was wrong, and he should apologize. And one of my biggest problems with President Trump to this day that I think he should absolutely still apologize for was Operation Warp Speed, which he claims to be one of his greatest achievements. When I believe he was led astray and given bad information, but I think now he knows those things. And I've been waiting on an apology for that issue, because how many people went out and got that dadgum vaccine and lost their lives because they listened to what the president told them to do and they trusted his advice. That's still a big issue that's not easy to get over as a conservative Republican today. But this one takes the cake. And there needs to be some damage control done quickly. We got to take our last break of the day. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up here on the Lindsey Beckham Show on this Monday afternoon. Don't go anywhere.
WYAB.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services, LLC, or find them on Facebook. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. Why is Rita Jensen the type of real estate professional you are looking for?
As a mortgage professional, I look for making transactions easier, and Rita Jensen with Rematch Connection is a prime example of that. Her attention to detail, her strong communication skills really help us as a mortgage company make everything smooth. From start contract to close, she helps me.
RitaJensen.net.
Since 2012, Brentech Solutions has been keeping Central Mississippi businesses connected and protected. From secure data backup and cloud services with Synology to reliable network design and maintenance, servers, and business Wi-Fi, Brentech truly does it all. Brentech is your Ring Pro partner and smart home automation solutions provider. Brentech can handle Microsoft 365 support and even Starlink. Visit brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. IT solutions that work. When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Come together right now.
We are back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show for the last few minutes of the show today here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Lots of conflicting comments in the chat today. So ever since YouTube will now allow you to stream in both portrait and landscape view, they have started, I guess, to share the live stream with more YouTubers. And here recently, I have found myself with a lot more haters than normal. That's okay. That's okay, though. That we live in a free country and we have freedom of speech. And I encourage everyone to use their voice for the way that they feel and the things that they care deeply about. So I don't mind the hate one bit. It's totally fine with me. That's the great thing about living in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, the free country. But that is all the time we have today. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. And it is Pour It Out Tuesday tomorrow. So we will be joined by our Tuesday co-host, Miss Morgan Charlie. You definitely do not want to miss that. So we'll see you then tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.